Welcome back. Today we will going to take up with next subtopic under loans and advances, that is methods of creating charge. Now there are various methods which banks create charges. Now we have to see which are those different types of methods which charges are created by the bank. Okay, so let us take one by one. We have lien is one method of creating charge, followed by pledge, then hypothecation, followed by mortgage, and then assignment. We will going to study these methods in detail. So student, let us take up the first methods of creating charge is pledge. Now what is this pledge? Let us see. Section 172 of the Indian Contract Act 1872 defines pledge as bailment of goods as security for payment of a debt or performance of a promise. The person who offers the security is called the pawner or pledger, and the bailee is called the pawnee or the pledgee. Okay, so now it says as per the Indian Contract Act, section 172 define pledge as bailment of goods. Now what do you mean by this term bailment? Bailment means the act of delivering goods to a bailee for a particular purpose without transfer of ownership. Okay, so goods are being delivered to a bailee for certain reason, okay, but without transferring its ownership. That is the simplest meaning of bailment of goods. Then as security for payment of a debt or performance of a promise. It is a sort of promise. Okay, now the person who offers the security is called the pawner or also known as the pledger, and the bailee, okay, for whom the goods are delivered is called as pawnee or the pledgee, right? So in short, we can see pledge is a contract under which banker creates charge over a movable security. Okay, the assets which can be moved, okay, those are called as movable securities. Now let us discuss this meaning of pledge in detail. Now as I already said, there should be bailment of goods, first case, and second, the objective of such bailment should be hold the goods as security for the payment of a debt or the performance of a promise. So in other words, you can say the bailment should be on behalf of a debtor or an intending debtor. Okay, so now section 148 defines bailment as the delivery of goods from one person to another for some purpose, okay, upon the contract that the goods be returned back when the purpose is achieved or otherwise disposed of according to the instructions of the bailer. So there are two important requisites of a bailment. Now let us see which are those two important requisites of a bailment. First one, delivery of goods, okay, and second, return of goods. Now let us see what is this delivery of goods. Delivery of goods is essential for a contract of bailment. Delivery may be either physical delivery or constructive or symbolic delivery. Yes, okay, so now we have seen the pledge can be created in form of actual pledge or it may be in symbolic pledge. Okay, so creation can be done in two ways. Okay, two forms, actual as well as symbolic. So here it says physical transfer of goods from the custody of the bailor to that of the bailee is not necessary. There may be constructive or symbolic delivery, which means anything having the legal effect of putting the goods in possession of the bailee or any person authorized by him. Now, if I take an example, you can say if the bailee puts his own lock on the door of the godown storing the goods pledge, it will be treated as transfer of possession. Right? Then, even the handling over the key of the lock on the door of the godown amount to deliver. Right? Now, similarly, handing over of document of title to goods like bill of lading or railway receipt duly endorsed will also mean delivery of goods. But if the warehouseman in the possession of the goods is authorized to hold the goods on behalf of the bailee and he accepts it, then the transfer of possession will be deemed to be complete. Right? So this is called delivery by atonement. But distinction should be made between a mere custody of goods and possession, which may be called judicial possession. Right? So goods might be in the custody of a servant or a guest, but they do not hold possession of the goods. Okay, so clear? That is a simple example on delivery of goods. Now moving on to next is return of goods. To constitute a contract of bailment, it is essential that the bailee should return the same goods to the bailor or dispose them, okay, according to his instructions after the purpose for which the goods were delivered is fulfilled. Okay, now the deposit of money in a bank account is not bailment because money is not goods, and secondly, the banker is under no obligation to return the same currency notes and coins which are handed over to him at the time of making a deposit. Right? Now we have seen bailment of goods, under that delivery of goods and return of goods. Now moving on to next point, bailment of security for payment of debt. Now it is essential that the bailment of the goods is done with the object to secure the payment of a debt or the performance of a promise. If the goods are left with the banker for safe custody or any other purpose, it does not constitute a pledge. Okay, so banks therefore take a declaration in case of pledge to safeguard their interest. Right? So in short, we can say pledge is a contract under which a banker creates charge over a movable security. Or also we can say, as per the section 172 of the Indian Contract Act 1872 defines pledge as bailment of goods as security for payment of a debt or performance of a promise. Therefore, we can sum up, the person who affords the security is called the pawner or the pledger, and the bailee is called the pawnee or the pledger.